Okay, today we're making a tier list of the most popular cases for the iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Now you're probably already familiar with the concept, but if you've been living under a rock, S tier is God tier and F tier is as bad as it gets.
This is probably gonna be a pretty controversial video, so let's discuss in the comments.
One more quick thing.
I've got a lot of iPhone 14 Pro Max cases lying around, and I want to give back to you guys watching. So if you want to win one of these, follow me on Twitter and leave a comment on this video which case you prefer and where you're from. Then hopefully you'll be one of the winners. Let's begin with the Spigen cases. The thin fit always had a high rating for me, but they didn't upgrade it with MagSafe, so unless you don't want to use that, it's already got some disadvantage. The case itself feels good. I called it the tailored suit for your iPhone, which still holds true, just not as good as it could have been without the MagSafe aspect. They slap on the phone really easy, so the fit is good. D tier. This also applies to their liquid air, hybrid and tough armor cases. Just pretty basic overall, especially when talking about MagSafe strength. They're like a 5 or 6. Now recently, they've come out with some interesting ones called the Cryo Armor, Optic Armor and Ultra Hybrid Zero. And I would like to have a look at these to see if they outperform the rest. But I have a feeling that it's just design. I guess we'll have to see. The hybrid case I did test, so I'm guessing the Hybrid Zero one is all bark, no bite too. Put that in D tier. Mous cases are next, and oh boy was I disappointed with them. Talking about good marketing, they nailed that part. I think they look awesome too, especially that clarity one. Really cool looking case. Sadly, it wasn't as comfortable as I was hoping. The edges were noticeable when holding and the MagSafe aspect was disappointing. The overall fit of these is great though. They will sure protect your phone. I guess this is what happens when you overhype a product. The Clarity 2.0 goes in D tier. These are also very expensive for what you get in my opinion. The Limitless 5.0 has a nice cloth material on the back that is easily cleaned and will prevent grease from making your case slippery. The edge isn't noticeable here, so for that I'll give this one a C tier. UAG. I love their unique designs. They make awesome looking cases and I really appreciate that. Sadly, all models this year suffer from the worst magnets I've ever seen on a case, period. And that's a shame, because the Monarch would have landed a solid A tier if it weren't for the weak MagSafe ring. It just looks so good with the integrated MagSafe ring, instead of slapping like a circle on a case that already exists and making it a MagSafe case. They actually made this their own. Even with the other cases, the ring still looks unique. The overall feel of the Monarch is great too, so I must give it a B tier ranking, but only with the hopeful thought that they will make the magnets stronger. The Plyo case looks awesome, and initially I wanted to use this as my main case because I had that with my iPhone 11 too. But I really used MagSafe on the daily, so it wasn't for me. Still, I can see through that and appreciate the awesome looking design, protection value, and these bumps on the back which make it lay flat on the table. C tier. The UAG Civilian was my best case choice previous year, so I was shocked to see that it got lighter and much more plasticky. It wasn't the same. MagSafe still as bad as on the others, but this one just doesn't add anything. It feels uncomfortable in the hand, cheap, and doesn't look good. We've got a first F tier. And quickly, the Essential Armor is snappy to put on a phone, suffers the same MagSafe ring, but looks and feels unique. D tier. Pitaka Mag AZ3. This is such a good case and easy to recommend to people. It snaps on the phone like it comes with the phone, and it's really thin. Also very lightweight, and yet the MagSafe is so good. It puts the rest to shame. Its carbon fiber look makes it beautiful too. I only wish that they could make it a little bit stronger, maybe even make it from a real carbon fiber. But that's such an expensive material. I'm not sure if people will be willing to pay for it. Still, a great case, and if you like the feeling of having no case on the phone, this one is for you. A tier. Now Benks has really surprised me this year. A $20 case, and it looks, feels and protects your phone like a $60 case. That smoked look is awesome, and it will really surprise you too if you pick this up. MagSafe strength is very good, and don't matter which color iPhone you got, this one will always fit. It will not grease up like a clear case. The only thing is that it will still be a little bit slippery from time to time. And I think the camera bump could benefit from a unique design. Still, easy B tier. Encased has got a lot of options. They are around the $20 to $30 range per case, and I feel like there's always one for everyone here. Too much to go over in this video though. Check out the detailed video if you're interested. As long as you don't use that free MagSafe wallet you get with your purchase, or expect wonders from the included screen protector, these will perform adequately. D tier. The Smartish Gripzilla. I chose this one to be the case of the year for the last model iPhone 14 Pro Max. And for good reason. Its grip design looks and feels awesome. This one definitely won't fall out of your hands. But as time goes on, you get a better idea of what a product has to offer. And I must say, one-handed use is not as comfortable as I would have hoped over longer periods of time. My pinky finger gets uncomfortable after long use, and other cases don't have that problem. But it's still one of my go-to cases because of the looks and MagSafe strength. Ports are easily accessible and that texture on the sides is great. A tier. Rokform was a new brand for me. There were actually quite a few I didn't see or realize were awesome. But holy cow, did they perform. Obviously, this is a MagSafe oriented case, and it has the strongest magnets on a case ever. But it reminded me a lot of the UAG cases, overall shape and feel, just with very good magnets this time around. The price is also pretty high, but I've seen other brands ask crazy prices for literally nothing, so I think the price point on the Rokform cases is justified. Also, the fact that they can lay flat on your desk, the half-clear case design, the motorcycle lock system and much more just make it a very good case. I just feel like it's not for everyone, and because of it, I rate it A tier. The Gear4 ZAGG cases. I feel like these are awesome if we're talking design. Definitely unique looking and feel nice in the hand. Also, that MagSafe design is unique. Sadly, the MagSafe strength isn't because we've seen it before at UAG, because it's very weak. Some swear by this brand, but my overall feeling was disappointment. The clear case is unique because of those ridges on the side, which make it very grippy for a clear case, as we all know how slippery these can get once greased up and all dirty. The Ryo and Denali snap are advertised as MagSafe compatible, but I didn't approve. It felt like it was just the iPhone's magnets coming through the cases. The Ryo has those ridges or grips on the side too, which is good but not enough. Especially the fit on these cases. To get these on the phone itself was rather difficult, and thus I cannot give them a better rating than E tier. The Nomad cases. Very high quality and good looking, but also lacking. Once again in the MagSafe department. Previously, I described how it's awesome that the bookcase has a detachable magnet closing, but what's disappointing about it is the fact that you cannot choose to have this magnetic closing and the MagSafe aspect. You can no longer use the MagSafe on the back if you have it installed, because they are in each other's way. And unlike the other bookcases, this case isn't removable from the bookcase cover, so this is really the only way to use it. The materials used feel premium though, and really add that extra experience, which make this problem mentioned look like a minor inconvenience instead of like a deal breaker. The other Nomad case is basically the inside case of the already mentioned bookcase, so it's really similar, but also feels very premium. The fit is really good, and the inside features a suede-like material, which I can always appreciate. This one is really hard to give a good rating to. The experience and the materials gets me leaning towards A tier, but then I remember the Mujjo case, which has better MagSafe and feature premium leather too. That's why I must give it a B tier. While staying on this subject, let's just talk about the Mujjo cases right away. They are great cases, scratch resistant, leather looks like it can take a beating, the fit on the front leaves room for just that little bit of color edge on the screen, which just looks awesome. it really feels like a thin case also, while also maintaining good protection on the front with a decent edge. Every edge on this case looks smooth, no paste on camera bump, like some other cases do, and thus it feels refined. I recently showed one of their accessories too, on my cool and practical iPhone accessories you'll actually use video. Go check that out if you haven't already. It has better magsafe too, and for that, this case definitely belongs in A tier. Now, I didn't keep the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I sold it and got back to my iPhone 13 Pro. I won't bother you with the reasons why in this video, but because of it, I use my Magbak case a lot. And I really love this case. I didn't receive their latest model, but judging on the iPhone 13 Pro case, it's really one of my most beloved cases. Really strong MagSafe, a soft but sturdy material, good protection on the front, added edges for protection, but still feeling like an in-between case. Not bulky at all, but also just a little too thick for a thin case. The camera protection could have been done like the Mujjo case, where it's so smooth, but also like a little more noticeable, because right now it's just a little too small to make me feel at ease. But it also means less wobble because of it. I mentioned earlier that the Gripzilla wasn't comfortable at long sessions. Well, this one is comfortable throughout the day. It's awesome. And they didn't get the attention they deserve. This is the first S tier. I love this case. And I really recommend you look into this brand if you want a good all-rounder, which is very comfortable. The Speck Presidio Grip 2. I was initially very hyped about this one, but as soon as I got it, I was disappointed. Sometimes I see videos on YouTube about a product and just their plain enthusiasm and presentation can get me to buy something, which is good for them. But once you receive the product, you will see through it and understand for what it is. Marketing. It's called the Grip, and it's grippy alright, but that's about it. The design is unique, it feels sturdy, but there is a wobble on one side and it just doesn't present that wow factor for me. I do like how the bezel on the front sort of like swells up though, and that's good design. Like I said in my dedicated video, I'm on the fence with this one. It has good things, but comparing it to other cases in the same price range, it just falls short for me. E tier. Now, I am always looking at price relative to value added, and I'm aware that certain things are just better if you spend a little extra. But how much is too much? Casetify offers cases at the $100 price range mark, and initially I thought it was too much. But once you get your hands on one of these, I really must give it to them. They really added value for that $50 extra. I've never felt a stronger case than Casetify. If you want that 100% certainty about not breaking anything related to your phone, this is the way. Even with their clear cases, the added protection on the back of the phone, which you can clearly see from the sides, just make them feel invincible. The clear cases won't yellow either due to the UV Defender technology. They also have awesome designs, so no case looks the same. They offer 3 different versions of their cases, so if you like a certain design but not the case itself, you can switch it up. MagSafe is really strong with these too, so no worries there. And they even come with an authenticity certificate, which you can scan to see if it's legit. S tier. Otterbox is another big one. They have been around for a long time. Let's begin with the Symmetry Plus. They got an update in 2022. I was about to say this year, but it's already 2023. Time flies. I think the upgrade it got put it back to where it belongs, higher up the list. It's easier to remove too, due to the bezel on the front. The MagSafe aspect is okay, and I think they always deliver good quality cases. B tier. Their Defender Series XT and the Defender case are really good if you're into bulky cases. From the texture used to front protection, they cover it. But I must say, the Defender is much easier to install. So that's a big W for that one. Sadly, it doesn't have magsafe, so we can be short about that part. The Defender comes with a belt clip, which can be really nice if you like to carry it that way. I will rate the Defender B tier and the XT in C tier. Now another solid player in this case world is of course Rhinoshield. From solid suit to clear case, the crash guards or both, they are awesome. They play around with customizability, with different color buttons or different camera bumps, which in and of itself is great. But it can also be a little annoying to have buttons or the camera lip fall out of the case. The MagSafe aspect is great, very powerful in fact. Especially their clear cases feel so good, and they've proven that they don't yellow with their lab test I've shown before. Just the material chosen on their cases feels very comfortable, and it's priced very competitively too. The clear case would go a definite A tier, while the Mod NX goes to C tier for being annoying to install, and Solid Suit would go to B tier, as I've personally never used them that much, even though I have them laying around. And that means something, but they are still nice. Ringke was a personal favorite for a long time, and I still appreciate their low cost yet awesome cases. I mean, these cases cost like $17, which is amazing value. Even with MagSafe, they still only cost $25. Sadly, my favorite, the Fusion X, does not have MagSafe, as far as I've seen. So I've added it myself, using this paste-on MagSafe ring, which works great and is really strong. In this way, I can still use one of my favorite cases and enjoy the benefits of MagSafe. If you like this idea, check out the links in the video description. Some other models they have come with MagSafe out of the factory though, like the regular Fusion. I think these are really good and definitely don't feel like cheap cases. This is one of those brands that value quality and really good prices. Awesome protection, awesome price, awesome rating. A solid B tier for most, but that's only because of the lack of MagSafe on all models. So my custom Fusion X is S tier. Then last but not least, Supcase. I've seen their lineup with the clear case UB Mag, the bulky case called the UB Pro Mag, and the UB Style. I must say the UB Style and the Mag felt really nice. The edges made it feel grippy where I thought it would have been just another clear case. Because of the silicone type material on the side, it's actually a very good hybrid clear case. These cases are actually relatively cheap, coming in around $20 to $30. So I mean, if you like them, go for it. It's not a bad case per se, but it's also not gonna blow me away. The UB Pro Mag was the same deal. It can be a good case, but it's not anything special, and that's because there's a lot of these cheaper looking cases on Amazon which function basically the same way, like Encased. Now, I'm not hating on this brand or any brand like it, it's just another segment. I'll give these E tier. And that wraps up this list. Do you agree with my choices? Of course, there are a lot of other cases too I didn't feature today, and that's because I haven't tested them. And I only wanted to give my opinion on cases I've actually seen. Let's discuss in the comments, and for now, have an awesome day.